Hello students, I am Miss Sunanda, your science teacher. Today I am going to teach you the fundamental unit of life, that is the cell. If you are seeing around yourself, you are finding lot of buildings are there which are made up of bricks. Similarly, the higher organisms are made up of small units. Those small units are the basic units, and those basic units are referred to as the cell. So let's see what is happening inside a cell, what is the structure of a cell, what is the function of a cell. Let's see. As I have mentioned earlier, that cell is the fundamental unit of life because it regulates all the functions inside an organism. Who discovered the cell? Scientist Robert Hooke in 1665 discovered cell. He actually self-designed a crude microscope, and he placed a thin layer of cork cell under the microscope. What he had also observed? He actually observed some compartments like things. Those compartments he referred to as the cellulae, and it was a Latin word. It is a plural form, and cellulae in singular form is known as cellula, which means a little room. So those kind of rooms are present in the monasteries too, so we can correlate it. And why the cell is referred to as the structural and functional unit of life? Because a single cell can perform some basic activities which is actually performed by all the living organisms. A cell itself can do it. Lot of cell organelles are there at present in the inside the cell, and they are functioning different works. Like movements are actually done by microtubules which are containing the flagella, cilia, and ATP or energy is generated by mitochondria, and the waste material of a cell are removed by lysosomes, and new materials are synthesized by ribosomes, chloroplast. Like food is synthesized by chloroplast in plant cells, and ribosomes are responsible for the synthesis of proteins, and so on. That is why cell is referred to as the structural and functional unit of life. If you can see, or if you can broadly classify all the organisms present in this world, you might have seen that there are two kinds of organisms. That is unicellular organisms, which are composed of single cell, and this single cell constitute the structure and entire function of that organism. Here you can see the amoeba, paramecium, euglena, all these are marine organisms. Those are actually the unicellular organisms, and all the cellular organelles, essential cellular organelles present inside their single cell, and they are performing different tasks like movement, engulfing food, etc. And the second type of organism are the multicellular organisms, which are composed of many cells, and there is division of labor, like there is nerve cell, bone cell, reproductive cell like sperm cell, ovum cell, and red blood cell too. There is lot of cells are there. They are actually making different type of tissue, and they are responsible for different type of task. So all the plants, animals, human beings, reptiles, all the higher as well as lower organisms are actually the multicellular organisms. Let's see the cell structure. Actually, cells are made up of components called cellular organelles. Here you can see a typical cell, and a lot of cellular organelles are present inside this cell. But three structure, the plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm, they are omnipresent. They are present in all kind of living cells. Cell wall is not omnipresent, it is only present in plant cell. They are actually providing the structural support of plants, and they are the rigid covering made up of cellulose. You might have noticed that there is, especially in case of the trees, there is lot of bark, and this thickness or rigidity is actually given by cell wall. Let's see the plasma membrane and its function. Plasma membrane is the outermost layer of the cell, and it covers the inside or inner part of the cell from the outside of the cell. Outside environment is separated by the plasma membrane from inside. Actually, this cell membrane is made up of lipid and protein bilayer. It is responsible for diffusion and osmosis, and most important character of a plasma membrane is it is selectively permeable. Why it is so? Because it prevents movement of some materials. It actually allows only few materials like water molecules, lot of ions are there, and obviously this is selective ions, and those ions molecules are allowed to pass inside the cell through this plasma